I'm Daisy D. You can find me on Instagram at DaisyD05. I've been asked by IVF Babble to share my story of my infertility with also IVF and now amazingly motherhood. A little bit about my story. I have been diagnosed with endometriosis. I had excruciating periods since I was 12. I finally got diagnosed when I was 18, and after my fourth surgery, I basically asked my consultant at the time if he would recommend that I go and check my fertility, as for I've never had a pregnancy scare, which some people would think that's an amazing thing, but for me, who longed to have a baby, I was very disappointed every single time I would get my period every month, even though I was still very, very young. So at the age of 22, I asked my consultant at the time, and he basically laughed and said, "You're far too young, don't worry about it, everything will be okay." So I basically begged my dad and we went to a private clinic, and unfortunately when I had the results back for all the testing, it was deemed that I was prematurely infertile. I had a very, very low AMH level, and basically the world came crashing down that I most likely wouldn't be able to conceive naturally, and that IVF would be the way to go to get. So by this time I'm 22, which is obviously a very, very young age to be diagnosed with infertility. We basically started the process straight away. So I did 2 rounds. I did egg collection and froze them with a sperm donor. So I had 5 embryos, and then the following month I did an egg collection for if I was to ever meet somebody in the future and I wanted children with them, then that would be a possibility. Fast forward to kind of present time, I'd obviously had a further few more operations to add up to the total of the 9 surgeries that I've had in my lifetime for endometriosis. And basically in October of 2018, my gynecologist said, no more. There is no more surgeries to be done for you unless it's a hysterectomy. Your chance now to have a baby is now, because your womb probably won't take it next year. So I went full force. I started the process for the transfer. So I had my first transfer in June of 2019. For some strange reason, even though I was very, very excited, there was a part of me that didn't think it was going to work. And then the dreaded 2-week wait came, and it was confirmed that it was negative. I was not pregnant. The transfer hadn't worked. It was very disheartening, because then obviously we have to go through, well, I as a solo mum have to go through all the emotions again of another transfer. So all my friends and family who were around me, you know, egged me on and said, "You've got this, 100% you can do it." So again, I prepped myself for another transfer. So we decided to do another egg retrieval, as with the eggs that I had already saved for future use, there was only 4 of them. So we decided at my clinic to do another egg retrieval. That was done in July, beginning of August. But unfortunately, I only got 1 egg. But that's fine. We added the 1 egg to the 4 other eggs that I had previously, and that made 5. So I then actually had to get another sperm donor, because I decided that I wanted a fresh, clean start, new donor, and just a new whole kind of cycle. And basically, I had a new sperm donor, so we then actually fertilized 3 of them, and it was a hard wait, but we waited, and basically only 1 embryo survived to day 5. So on the 30th of September 2019, I transferred my only embryo, which was a 3BC blastocyst, which reached day 5. The 2-week wait was again tough. but I was occupied with working and seeing friends and family. And then at 5 days, I took a pregnancy test and it was negative. And I was like, it's okay, no worries. And then my best friend who I live with, she recommended that I take another one that evening. And lo and behold, there was a faint positive line. I was amazed. It had worked. And yeah, basically that was the beginning of my motherhood with my darling daughter, Hope. Her name is pretty self-explanatory. She gave me a lot of hope, and I needed a lot of hope to kind of fight through the infertility battle, because it is draining, it is hard, it is isolating, it is lonely, and unless you've been through it, you really don't understand it. I think me sharing my story has given me a lot of confidence, and I hope it's also encouraged a lot of other women to, you know, embark on this solo motherhood journey. It's amazing, and I wouldn't change anything for the world. Sometimes it's tough, but I have a lot of friends and family around me who help me so much. And Hope and I are loved so much by everybody. I think unfortunately infertility has a very bad stigma. It's a taboo subject, people don't like to talk about it for an uncertain reason. I actually don't understand why. I don't think it's anything that you should be ashamed of. Falling pregnant naturally is very hard, and I think infertility should be spoken more and not to be deemed as shameful. So I think my kind of main points of advice for somebody who is on the infertility journey or IVF journey is literally hope. Always have hope, determination. Yeah, I just really hope kind of sharing our stories on here helps people to know that they're not alone. My DMs are always open. I'm an open book, so I have actually shared a lot of my story over on my Instagram, from literally day one of transfer up until, you know, now my daughter is 7 months and she's literally the light of my life, and everything that I will continue to do forever will be for her. She is literally my everything, and I'm so happy that I did this and did this journey by myself and succeeded. And it was amazing, it was hard, it was lonely at some points, but we got through it, and I got through it, and I got the greatest gift that I could have ever imagined. And she's literally wonderful, and I love her so much. So thank you so much, IVF Babble, for letting me share my story. Please follow me on DaisyD05, where you can see more of myself and my beautiful daughter Hope. Thank you.